So hello and welcome back to Engineering 101, Lecture 6-2 on using servo libraries and Arduino to control a servo motor. Lecture 6-1 was on wiring the servo motor, and now we will look at the code graphically and text-based to control the servo motor. So if you are doing graphical programming, what you will see here is that this program will sweep the servo from 0 to 180 degrees, and it will move in increments of 1 and then wait 15 milliseconds between each position. So it's going to sweep from 0 to 180, and then it's going to sweep back from 180 to 0. So typically we now are doing text-based code because it's going to have to be a little bit more complicated in order to get the robot to work. So now if we look at blocks in text over here, here is that library I was telling you about. So you're going to include the servo library. Then you're going to have the initial global variable of the position of the servo. You have to have an instance of a servo here. And that is because we have a servo class when you include the library. And remember, the benefit of a library is it's reusable code that you can now reuse to create complicated systems or attach electronics without you having to figure it out yourself. You just use that library and now you can access all of its features. So we now have an instance of a servo called servo9. The class is servo. Then in the setup function, we attach the servo. So we tell it that it's going to be at pin 9. 500 and 2500 are optional, but they basically tell the frequencies that the servo can go from to. By including this makes sure that the servo does not move to some value or position that you don't want it to. So down here, once again, you have a for loop where the servo moves from 0 to 180 in steps of 1. And then you use servo.write to have the servo move to that position, and then you wait 15 milliseconds. And then the servo moves to 180 to 0 in steps of -1. And you have the delay as well. All right, come back for lecture 6-3 to see the servo in action and stay STEM-tastic.